Greetings, and welcome to day 15 and 16 of rFest. Tonight, I'll start with day 15. I was in a record store the other day and happened to find probably one of my very favorite films of the 90s. And sadly, Brandon Lee's last movie on DVD, The Crow. Oh, hi Jasmine. This time I've got Jasmine and Ninja both here with me. Anyway, getting back to it, definite steal. 2 discs. I thought, yeah, pretty good, why not? Comes with a making of, featurette, and some deleted footage here and there, and what have you. Didn't see all the bonus stuff yet. But I did see the movie, again, one of my very favorite films. For those of you that are familiar with it, it's a definite gothic romance, action, horror film of sorts. I guess I wouldn't call it a horror film per se. More like a dark superhero type of character like Spawn or of that type. Let's see, for those of you that don't know, here's the rundown. Brandon Lee plays Eric Draven, a rock guitarist for a band. Him and his fiancée are killed the night before their wedding, which was supposed to be Halloween. They're killed by a gang that is controlled by a character named Top Dollar, played by Michael Wincott. Great actor. I haven't seen him in very many films since this one. Last film I can think of he was in was, I think he was in Kiss the Girls with Morgan Freeman. I think he was the villain in that one too. Let's see. So, the villains are also led by David Patrick Kelly, who played in The Warriors and who's played in movies like Ford Fairlane and a few others here and there. I just can't think of too many titles aside from those two. But he was in The Warriors, you know, the cult classic back in the early 80s. So, let's see. Eric and his fiancée Shelley are both murdered. He comes back a year later, and he is guided by this giant crow. And the crow is basically his guide that takes him throughout the city, and he basically goes to avenge his murder and her murder. And a lot of people that I didn't expect to see are in this, like one of the guys from Hackers is in it actually. He played Tintin. They got he gets taken out first. Then of course there's 2 other people whose names I don't know. Never really seen them in movies. Oh, Tony Todd of the Candyman. He plays kind of a right-hand man to Michael Wincott's character named Grange. Ernie Hudson played in Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters. He plays Lieutenant Albert, a cop who ends up helping Eric on his mission. Overall, the story is pretty good, and there's a girl that knew Eric, and she figures out who he is, and she figures out that he's actually now alive. He's only alive for, I guess he was supposed to be only back from the dead for 2 days. Just enough time to do this mission, pretty much. And overall, it's a very good movie. It's probably the best film of the 90s. Sadly, it was also one of, sadly it was Brandon Lee's last film. And a lot of people say the set was cursed, and sadly it might have been. Who knows? But in any event, it was a fitting tribute to a good actor. And probably, like I said, one of the best films of the 90s. Get a chance to get it on DVD, get it. It's that good. got the VHS somewhere, I just don't know where, but just as well I found this one. Let's see, day 16 was, let's see, Dr.Tarr's Touture Dungeon. Yeah. No, wait. Dr.Tarr's Terror Dungeon, I think it was called. Hold on, let me see the name here. Dr.Tarr's Torture Dungeon. Kind of a 70s movie that was really, it was a very bizarre film. It's about this guy, he's sort of a reporter, although looks more like it's set in colonial times. And he's trying to basically get this story, and he ends up interviewing these people in this insane asylum. Well, it turns out the insane asylum is led by a guy who pretty much lets the inmates run roughshod all over the place. So the inmates literally have taken over. Good movie. A little rough in some scenes, though. Claudio Brook was in it, and I don't know if that wasn't the same guy in Hercules Unchained who played the villain in that one. It looks like him. But, like I said, I would really have to look into that to know for sure. And finally, Robert Rodriguez's masterpiece, From Dusk Till Dawn. This was a great film. George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino play these two brothers who rob a bank. Basically, Tarantino breaks Clooney out of prison. They rob a bank, they rob a convenience store, they blow up the convenience store, they end up going to Mexico, and they hijack this family in an RV, who basically, they all take them to Mexico, and they all end up at this nightclub known as the Titty Twister. It's open from dusk till dawn. And the reason why it's open from dusk till dawn is because every other person who works there is a vampire. Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those. It's definitely an action horror film. Some good cameos too. You've got Fred Williamson. You've got Tom Savini. Savini's got a great part. It's too bad though that they kind of killed him off too early for my liking. Harvey Keitel plays the father. Juliette Lewis the daughter. There's he's got a son whose name I don't remember. His name in the movie was Scott, played by I want to say Patrick Liu, I think was the guy's name. Good actor. So it's pretty much very much a shoot 'em up film. Very action packed. Good special effects. Salma Hayek, of course, getting that one scene where she's known for a scene I think that Britney Spears probably ripped off just a little bit for that one Super Bowl where she had that yellow snake or green snake or whatever it was. I think that was the Super Bowl, or maybe it was just one of her concert videos. Anyway, I don't know if she ripped off Salma Hayek or not, but speculation on my part, I suppose. So overall, that's been the last 2 days, day 15 and 16 of rFest. And we are nearing, well, I think we're past the halfway point pretty much, almost. So, I don't know if I'll be extending this past Halloween. I haven't decided yet, because I was thinking of extending it all the way up to Election Day, which is probably a lot more frightening a day than Halloween will be. Anyway, in any event, I'll keep you posted on that one. Anyway, subscribe if you feel free to, or drop a like. And I'll be on Twitter, probably announcing these 2 days that will be up. That's it for this edition of rFest. Until next time, fare thee well.